The Hollywood Jews may have wanted to marry into white America, but when it came to music, Jewish composers looked to black America.
The indigenous African-American culture was of tremendous interest. I mean, the music, the dancing, the popular styles.
Jews served as messengers, in essence, of black culture. They took it, they consumed it, they integrated it into their own cultural repertoire, and then introduced it to white America that was essentially willing to listen to Jews, partake of what Jews had to offer in a way that they never would from blacks.
Needing some kind of redemption through America, the Jews took these themes, but instead of putting them to Jewish music, they borrowed black forms that they saw as authentically American. In a sense, they wrote music in blackface.
And so minstrel shows became an extremely popular American entertainment. In fact, people say that blackface minstrelsy is really the first American art form. Minstrelsy was the primary mechanism for white people to see anything related to black culture.
And it produced a sense of the national culture, and the national culture as predominantly African American.
A pivotal time. And this was in the 1830s. There was an entertainer, Thomas Rice, who did a song called Jump Jim Crow,
in which he was doing a caricature of what he said was an authentic performance by a black stableman. He had seen this guy who worked around the horses.
And who did this dance, and he watched him and in essence sort of lifted it, and then went in blackface, performed it very successfully. And it begins to spread, and eventually we get the minstrel troupes. And what the minstrel shows were doing was to take any fear a white audience may have had about African Americans, to take that fear out of it. That these childlike figures, they can't hurt you. They can't supervise themselves. They're in need of supervision.
It replicated what people romanticized about life in the antebellum South.
I think is sometimes harder to see is the ways in which blackface performance afforded a certain kind of curiosity and fascination with African American life.
Fred Astaire always talked about how important black tap dancers were to his development. And Bill Bojangles Robinson, he always said was one of his heroes.
When we see Fred Astaire, he's got on the flashy jacket and so forth. And, you know, there's footage of Bojangles dancing where he's wearing a suit and tie, well tailored.
I mean, it's a tribute, but it's also a way for Fred Astaire to demonstrate that he's taken the best from the best. He can profess all the love in the world for Bill Bojangles Robinson, but Astaire becomes a much bigger star than Bill Bojangles Robinson. And he has many more kinds of opportunities that are ever available to Robinson.
I don't want to be unfair to Fred Astaire because I think he did appreciate Bojangles, but it still comes across in another way. Why did you have to choose these clothes? Why did you have to choose this particular style to salute him? And again, it's this minstrel thing.
Hi, kids.
We need your advice.
Sure. What can I help you with?
Career counseling.
Career counseling?
Well, we've decided what we want to be, but everybody says we can't.
Well, sure you can.
Everybody says you have to be born in the right kind of family.
That's ridiculous. Doesn't make any difference what kind of family you come from in this country. You can be anything you want to be. Now, what is it you want to be when you grow up?
Negroes.